The sun had barely risen when Ethan Carter, stepped into my home after a grueling overnight shift. The house was eerily silent, save for the faint ticking of the kitchen clock. I had always prided myself on being a hard-working husband, doing whatever it took to provide for my wife, Sophia. But lately, something had felt off. Sophia and I had been married for 8 years. We had built a life together, filled with laughter, travels, and late-night conversations about our dreams. At least, that's what I thought. Lately, she had grown distant, physically present but emotionally absent. I tried to brush it off as stress from her new job, but deep inside, an unsettling feeling lingered. I walked into the kitchen, expecting to find her sipping coffee like she usually did, scrolling through her phone. Instead, she was nowhere to be seen. Her phone, however, lay unattended on the counter. That was odd. Sophia never left her phone unattended. A part of me wanted to ignore the nagging curiosity, but my instincts told me otherwise. Before I could reach for it, I heard the shower running upstairs. She was home. I exhaled, shaking my head at myself. Don't be paranoid, Ethan. I made my way to the bedroom, pushing open the door slightly. Sophia's clothes were scattered on the bed, something she never did. She was meticulous, almost obsessively neat. Another thing that didn't sit right with me. As I sat on the bed, my phone buzzed with a message. It was from Emma, Sophia's best friend. Emma, hey, we need to talk. It's important. A strange message for early in the morning. I frowned, typing back a quick reply. Me, hey, what's up? I didn't get a response right away, but my thoughts were already racing. Emma and Sophia had been best friends since college. Emma was outspoken, confident, and fiercely loyal. If she said we needed to talk, it had to be serious. Just as I put my phone down, Sophia walked into the bedroom, a towel wrapped around her body, droplets of water still clinging to her skin. She looked surprised to see me. You're home early, she said, tightening the towel around herself. Yeah, shift ended early. I replied, watching her reaction closely. Her eyes darted toward the bed where her clothes lay, then quickly to her phone downstairs. Something about the way she shifted her weight from one foot to another made my stomach twist. Everything okay? I asked, pretending not to notice. Yeah, just tired, she said with a forced smile. I was about to make coffee. Want some? I nodded, studying her as she walked away. Something was definitely wrong. Later that afternoon, I finally got a call from Emma. Ethan, are you alone? Her voice was hushed, almost nervous. I sat up straight. Yeah, what's going on? There was a long pause. I don't know how to say this, but there's something you need to know about Sophia. My grip tightened on the phone. Emma, just say it. I can't say it over the phone. Can we meet? My pulse quickened. Emma sounded serious. I agreed to meet her at a cafe nearby. When I arrived, Emma was already seated in a corner booth, her hands wrapped around a steaming cup of coffee. She looked up at me, her face filled with concern. Ethan, she said softly, I don't want to be the one to tell you this, but you deserve to know the truth. I felt like the world had slowed down. Know what? She hesitated, then exhaled deeply. Sophia is cheating on you. The words landed like a punch to the gut. I blinked, struggling to process them. What? Emma swallowed hard. I didn't want to believe it at first, but I've seen the proof. Texts, calls. I even caught her meeting up with him. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Who is he? Emma looked down. I don't know his name, but I've seen them together. My hands clenched into fists under the table. Why are you telling me this? Because you deserve better, Ethan. And because I can't sit back and watch her lie to you anymore. The cafe felt suffocating. My head was spinning. I needed to get out of there. I need to go, I muttered, standing up abruptly. Emma reached for my hand. Ethan, please. But I was already walking out the door, my mind clouded with betrayal and anger. I drove home in a daze, Emma's words replaying in my head like a broken record. Sophia is cheating on you. Denial clawed at my mind. There had to be a mistake. But deep down, I knew something had been off for months. The emotional distance, the late nights at work, the sudden protectiveness over her phone, it all made sense now. I pulled into the driveway, gripping the steering wheel so tightly that my knuckles turned white. My heart pounded as I stepped inside. Sophia was in the kitchen, casually scrolling through her phone. When she looked up, she flashed a practiced smile. Hey, you okay? She asked. I studied her face, searching for any hint of guilt. She looked so normal. How could she betray me and still act like nothing was wrong? I'm fine. I lied, forcing my voice to stay even. Just a long day. She nodded and went back to her phone. My stomach churned. Who was she texting? Him? I needed proof. Emma had seen them together, but I needed undeniable evidence before confronting her. That night, after Sophia fell asleep, I quietly grabbed her phone from the nightstand. My hands trembled as I typed in her passcode, her birthday. Wrong password. My chest tightened. She changed it. She had never changed her passcode before. Frustrated, I placed the phone back carefully and took a deep breath. Fine. If she was hiding something, I'd find another way. The next day, I called in sick from work. While Sophia was in the shower, I checked our shared laptop. She rarely used it, but maybe she had been careless. I opened her email. Nothing unusual. Then I checked her messages on social media. Again, nothing. Just as I was about to close the browser, I noticed a small folder titled Work Docs. Something about it felt off. My pulse quickened as I clicked on it. Inside were several screenshots, texts between Sophia and an unknown number. My breath hitched as I read them. Sophia, can't wait to see you again tonight. Unknown, I miss you already. You looked so beautiful last night. Sophia, wish I could wake up next to you instead. A knife twisted in my gut. It was real. She was sleeping with someone else. I scrolled further, my anger intensifying. The messages went back months. She had been lying to my face every single day. I took screenshots and sent them to myself. If I was going to confront her, I needed leverage. I needed to know who this guy was. If Emma had seen them together, she might recognize the number. I forwarded the text to her. A few minutes later, Emma called. Ethan, I know that number. My heart pounded. Who is it? There was silence before she spoke. It's Ryan. I nearly dropped my phone. Ryan, Sophia's co-worker. I had met him at one of her office parties. He was charming, confident, and now he was sleeping with my wife. Rage boiled inside me, but I forced myself to stay calm. If I lost control now, I'd lose the upper hand. Emma, I need your help, I said, my voice low and steady. I want to expose them. Emma didn't hesitate. Tell me what you need. I planned everything meticulously. I knew Sophia and Ryan met at a hotel twice a week. Her messages made that clear. That evening, I acted normal. I kissed her goodbye, told her I had another overnight shift, and left. But instead of going to work, I followed her. She drove to a fancy hotel downtown. I parked a few spaces away and watched as she entered. Less than 5 minutes later, Ryan arrived. I had all the proof I needed. I called Emma. It's happening. They're here. I'm on my way, she said. Emma arrived with a few of our mutual friends, people who had always suspected something but never had proof. We entered the hotel, walked straight to the front desk, and I flashed my phone. That man, I pointed at a picture of Ryan, is meeting my wife in a room. I need the number. The receptionist hesitated but eventually gave in when Emma, playing the furious friend, caused a scene. Room 314. We took the elevator up. My heart was pounding out of my chest, but I felt strangely calm. This wasn't just about revenge. It was about exposing the truth. We reached the door. I took a deep breath and knocked. A few seconds later, Sophia's voice came from the other side. Who is it? I didn't answer. The door cracked open, and that's when I shoved it fully open. There she was, wrapped in nothing but a bedsheet, her eyes wide with horror. Ryan sat up from the bed, equally shocked. I held up my phone. Smile, Sophia. You're caught. A suffocating silence filled the room. Sophia's face drained of color as she clutched the bedsheet tighter around her. Ethan, what are you doing here? She stammered, her voice trembling. Ryan scrambled to grab his clothes, but I didn't care about him. I was focused on her. The woman I had trusted. The woman I had loved. I stepped inside, my voice eerily calm. Oh, don't stop on my account, Sophia. Keep going. Tell me how much you miss him. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. Ryan, now in his pants, tried to intervene. Look, man, I cut him off with a glare. Shut up. You knew she was married. You knew exactly what you were doing. His jaw clenched, but he said nothing. He knew there was no excuse. The door swung open behind me, and Emma walked in, phone in hand. Don't mind us. Just gathering evidence. Sophia's eyes widened. Emma, surprise, Emma said, her voice dripping with venom. I told Ethan everything. You should really be more careful where you screw around. Sophia's hands started shaking. Ethan, please, let me explain. Explain? I let out a bitter laugh. Oh, by all means, go ahead. Tell me how screwing Ryan behind my back for months was just some misunderstanding. Tears welled up in her eyes. I didn't mean to hurt you. You didn't mean to? My voice rose, my control slipping. Sophia, you lied to my face every single day. You made me feel like I was crazy for suspecting anything. And now you're standing here, acting like you're the victim? Ryan shifted uncomfortably. Look, man, if you just... I said shut up. I snapped, turning on him. You think this is over? You think you get to just walk away? His expression darkened. What do you want, huh? You caught us. Now what? I smiled coldly. Now? Now, everyone finds out exactly what kind of people you both are. I turned my phone around, showing them the live stream. Thousands of people were watching. Sophia's face twisted in horror. Oh my God. Ethan, no. Oh yes, Emma smirked. Your affair is now public knowledge. Say hi to the internet. Ryan turned pale. Dude, turn that off. Why? I sneered. You were fine doing this in secret. Let's see how you handle it when the whole world knows. Sophia lunged for my phone, but I stepped back. You ruined our marriage. I continued, my voice ice cold. So I'm making sure everyone knows exactly what you did. She collapsed onto the bed, sobbing. I turned to leave, but paused in the doorway. Oh, and Sophia? Pack your things. You're not coming home. I walked out of that hotel room, leaving Sophia in tears and Ryan standing there like a ghost of himself. Emma followed close behind, still gripping her phone, a triumphant smirk on her face. The moment we stepped into the hallway, I exhaled sharply. My chest felt tight, my mind racing. It was over. Or at least, the beginning of the end. You okay? Emma asked, slipping her phone into her pocket. I nodded slowly. I don't know. Well, she sighed. At least you don't have to wonder anymore. The weight of that truth settled deep in my bones. I had suspected for so long, but now there was no room for denial. No false hope. Sophia had betrayed me. And now, she was going to face the consequences. As we stepped into the elevator, my phone buzzed violently. Emma's live stream had done its job. By the time we reached the lobby, social media was on fire. The video had spread like wildfire. Dozens of comments, retweets, and shares. Holy crap, she really did him dirty. Man exposed her in 4K. She deserves it. Ryan is a piece of trash too. This is insane. Even mutual friends were chiming in. Jake, one of my old college friends, sent a text. Bro, I don't even know what to say. Just know I got your back. Then there was Sophia's family. Her sister, Nicole, had left a comment on Emma's post. I had no idea my sister was doing this. Ethan, I am so sorry. But the biggest shock? Ryan's fiancée. Yes, he was engaged. Her name was Jessica, and she had commented under the video. So this is what he's been doing behind my back. Thank you for exposing him. Emma nudged me, laughing bitterly. Looks like you're not the only one dealing with betrayal today. Yeah, I muttered. But unlike me, she doesn't have a marriage to untangle. I had barely stepped into my apartment when my phone rang. Sophia. I stared at the screen, debating whether to answer. Let her sit in her regret. But curiosity got the better of me. I picked up. What do you want, Sophia? She was sobbing. Ethan, please. You have to take that video down. Everyone is. People from work. My parents saw it. I scoffed. Oh, now you care what people think. I made a mistake, she cried. I love you, Ethan. I don't want to lose you. I clenched my jaw. You lost me the moment you chose to betray me. The moment you let another man touch you and still came home to me like nothing happened. Please, she begged. Let's talk. Face to face. Just you and me. I hesitated. Not because I wanted to forgive her. No, that wasn't happening. But I wanted to hear just how pathetic her excuses would be. I agreed to meet Sophia, but on my terms. I chose a neutral location, a quiet cafe away from our usual spots. Somewhere that wouldn't hold any sentimental weight. Somewhere that felt as cold as I did toward her. When I arrived, Sophia was already there, sitting at a corner table. She looked nothing like the confident woman I once knew. Her eyes were swollen from crying, her hands nervously twisting the napkin in front of her. As I sat down, she immediately reached for my hand. I pulled away. Her voice wavered. Ethan, don't. I leaned forward, my tone sharp. Just tell me why, Sophia. Why throw away everything we built? She swallowed hard. I don't know. That's not an answer. She wiped her face. I was lonely. You were always so busy, always working late, and Ryan was just there. He listened when I needed someone. I scoffed. You needed someone to listen, so you slept with him? That's the excuse you're going with. It wasn't just about that, she snapped, then immediately lowered her voice. I was stupid. I thought maybe I had feelings for him. I exhaled sharply, shaking my head. And do you still have feelings for him now? She bit her lip, hesitating. That moment of silence told me everything I needed to know. You do, I muttered. Even after everything. Even after he betrayed his own fiancée. She reached for my hand again. Ethan, I don't love him. I love you. I know I messed up, but I want to fix this. I'll do anything, therapy, counseling, whatever it takes. I laughed bitterly. Fix this? There is no fixing this, Sophia. Her face crumpled. But we have years together. You're my best friend. My husband. Are you really willing to throw that all away? My jaw clenched. I'm not the one who threw it away. You did. She opened her mouth to argue, but I held up a hand. Tell me something. If Emma hadn't exposed you, would you have ever told me the truth? Sophia's lips parted slightly, but no words came out. I nodded. That's what I thought. Her face paled. She never intended to confess. I stood up. I already spoke to a lawyer, Sophia. You'll be getting the divorce papers soon. Her breath hitched. No. Please, don't do this. We can rebuild, Ethan. We can start over. Stop. I cut her off. I deserve someone who wouldn't betray me so easily. Someone who wouldn't let another man touch her while calling herself my wife. Tears streamed down her face. You don't have to do this. But I did. And I would. Without another word, I walked away, leaving her in that cafe, alone with her regrets. In the weeks that followed, Sophia's world collapsed. Ryan's fiancée, Jessica, publicly dumped him and exposed him further. He became a pariah among our social circle. As for Sophia, her family was furious. Her parents disowned her, humiliated by what she had done. Her job took notice of the scandal too. It turned out that her company had a strict morality clause in their contracts. Being publicly exposed for cheating, especially with a live-stream video, violated company values. She was fired. I wish I could say I felt sorry for her. But I didn't. She had made her choices. And now, she had to live with them. As for me, I focused on myself. I hit the gym, reconnected with friends, and started therapy, not because I needed to heal from her loss, but because I wanted to make sure I never allowed someone like Sophia into my life again. And then, one evening, Emma and I were sitting together, drinking coffee. She smirked at me over her mug. So, now that you're officially single, what's next? I grinned. Whatever I want. For the first time in a long time, I felt free.